Hello and welcome to the video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at Genesect in the Open Master League. This Pokemon is going to be a very interesting one because in the current meta, it seems to be like the best meta breaker that you can run. Taking a look at the current meta that we are encountering, what do we have? We have Dragon type Pokemon everywhere, where we're going to have the TECHNO Blast Ice for that one. We have Ice type Pokemon in the Kyurem, so which we're going to have the Magnet Bomb for. We're going to have a lot of Fairy type Pokemon, what we're going to have the Magnet Bomb for. And with typing itself, it can resist basically like most of the Pokemon currently, like for example even the Kyurem White. You're going to be able to resist the fast move while still doing super effective damage against it, stuff like this. So Genesect seems to be one of the Pokemon that are going to have a lot of play in the current meta as an anti-meta threat. Then you have even the ground type Pokemon where you're going to be able to do double super effective against, for example here the Landorus. And yeah, the only thing that you have to avoid, of course, is going to be fire typing. We're going to have on Kyurem White the coverage move, which is fire type, and we're going to have Ho-Oh, but that's basically the only fire type moves that you have here. Kyurem White, yeah. Kyurem White going to be able to go ahead and swap out, which is fine. We are running Fire Blast, by the way, on the Palkia. I did change it now, but like I did play all the games here now with Fire Blast. Draco Media is generally speaking better. Fire Blast is sometimes funny. I kinda thought maybe I'm going to be able to encounter like a Steel type Pokemon and can use it, but yeah, I actually make a mistake at this matchup because I overpumped by a little bit too much. I should have went for the Sunsteel Strike a little bit earlier, would have allowed me to get some more energy here than what I have currently, and it doesn't really matter anyway because we're going to be able to get the shield from the opponent's Rhyperior here with our own Necrozma. We can go for an Awkward Tail here, and this is looking really good so far for us, but we haven't really seen too much from Genesect, so hopefully Genesect can still do something here. They have these super effective hits though, that's going to be a bit annoying, and so we're going to be forced to use a shield here. Can we still get to another move? Hopefully we can, and we can just actually farm them down here, I guess, and the opponent forfeits. Horrible lead for us. We're going to swap out here into our Necrozma. Necrozma is going to be able to kind of deal with it. We're going to be able to go ahead now and go for the Dark Pulse. As they're very likely going to use a shield here. There's basically no way that they're not going to use a shield. They're still forced to go for a charge move though, which is kind of cool for us, so we can just let the move go through and hopefully just have an advantage for whatever's going to be in the back then later on. As you saw here, the opponent just went straight for the Rock Wrecker, which is an interesting play. It's going to be a play that's going to help us out quite a bit. Rock Wrecker is going to come through, Awkward Tail is coming through here as well. This is going to allow us to get the shield, and now it's down to Genesect to win the entire battle here because we have 3 Pokemon still left from the opponent. Primarina we know we should be able to deal with. Hopefully not Attack Drop, which we don't get here, which is really nice. And Magnet Bomb gonna take the first KO, while also we still have some extra energy here, which is going to be great. Primarina comes back in here, and I hope that 2 Magnet Bombs are going to be enough, but with the fast move pressure even here from the Fear Cutter, even though it's resisted, but does a one-turn. It's a one-turn move that does like some sort of damage. We should be hopefully in a solid spot, and we're going to be able to take another KO here with Genesect. Can we actually still win the battle? There's going to be in the back here now the opponent's Kyurem White, and I just barely miss out on the move. I don't know, maybe I actually would have been able to get the KO here if I would have been able to land that super effective Magnet Bomb. Genesect doesn't really have the greatest stats, which I find kind of interesting. Like, it's a mythical Pokemon, like a lot of times they have like really good stats, but Genesect only at like 3700 CP is kind of interesting, and also doesn't seem to have like the most amount of bulk there either. So like usually like if you have lower CP you have more bulk than attack, which basically means that your CP is kind of lower than what you usually would have. But yeah, here as you see, the Genesect doesn't really have the bulk for it. The Genesect is going to be quite a bit squishy. So, I don't know what it's really doing here, but we're going to see the swap out now. Rhyperior is coming in. We're going to have the Awkward Tail against them, which is going to be great because it's going to get the shield here very likely. As I kind of want to at least get a few Breaking Swipes off against me, I'm forced to use my bow shields here most likely. As the Breaking Swipe comes through, we're going to get the Attack Drop onto me. But actually, I'm going to be able to go for my next charge move in time, which is going to be lovely. This is going to get the KO. And in comes here the final Pokemon. It's going to be the Kyurem again. We try to get them as low as possible. We still, I think, have a shield left here as well, which is going to be lovely, as this Awkward Tail is going to get them into the range for sure, where one move is going to be enough from the Genesect. And I'm fairly certain we should be able to get to the Magnet Bomb in time, but the opponent decides to forfeit anyway. Next up, Zacian. Zacian is not going to be great for us, but we have 2 good answers in the bag. And eventually I thought, with all of those Rhyperiors coming in, Should have maybe used the Genesect as my safe swap and kept the Necrozma in the back, and I feel like maybe it would have been the better play for me. Definitely something that I could have maybe tried out as well a little bit, but here for me I tried to get basically the most amount of, I don't know, interest into the Genesect by having it in the back, trying to win games with it. But maybe Genesect is a better safe swap. I could actually see this Pokemon being a better safe swap because a lot of people will not really bring in those Pokemon that you really fear. Ho in the back is really, really rare. And here we're going to now see the Zacian against our Genesect here. We're going to see the shield coming up from us as well. It's going to be very likely a player of, Close Combat or Wild Charge, I wanted to say. And as you'll see, I'm going to use another shield here. Could have maybe went for another charge move first as well. But they're going to have the Kyurem in the back. It is going to be Kyurem Black. That is going to be okay. I should have most not been straight for it. This is a big mistake here actually. But they use a shield anyway. That's going to be great. So we're going to be able to hopefully go for the full farm now. Fusion Bolt is going to knock us out. Can we go for the full farm in time? We cannot. Kyurem Black sadly is just a little bit too spammy for us. And they're going to be able to go for the Fusion Bolt, which is going to take the KO. I don't think that Magnet Bomb would have done enough damage against the opponent's Zacian though, if they're not debuffed like they were after they went for the close combat. But anyway, Magnet Bomb is coming through here against the opponent's next Pokemon, the Kyurem White, and we have the CMP type, which is going to be very unfortunate because they're going to be able to force a shield here. Fusion Flare would destroy the entire family of Genesect, not only one. Like literally being double super effective hit against you is going to be a bit tricky. We see here the Magnet Bomb is going to come through though before the opponent can do anything, which is going to be lovely. As we are now going to have alignment and they sub onto the Dialga, where we can still go ahead and go for the Techno Blast. Techno Blast Ice is going to do a ton of damage here. It is going to be a neutral hit, but quite a nice neutral hit here, I would say, as we will see now the Necrozma going to be able to take any kind of hit. Everything should be here resisted from the opponent. Raw of Time is coming through, and we will see here the Landorus coming in as well. As we'll see, this is going to be the Landorus going for the Sensitive Storm. We're going to be able to go for the Awkward here as well. And with this, we're going to have here now the shield coming up from the opponent. We're going to try our best to go for another move here soon afterwards as well. We have to use a shield here, but I'm very certain we're going to be able to outspeed them, which is going to be very important because we need to get rid of that Landorus. Landorus is going to go down now after this Awkward Tail, and we will see the Dialga came back in where we can still reach that Dark Pulse to get the KO, and we can move on to the next opponent. Next up, let's see who we're going to have here. We're going to have Palkia against the Enamoros Horrible Elite Force. Of course, I have to sub out straight away. And again, I show most they sub out into my other Pokemon, because here now they have super effective Fast Move Pressure. I would be able to take a hit, so I'm going to be able to get a shield here from the opponent, but does it really work? I don't think it does, and that's kind of more the issue. We will see the Sunsteel Strike gonna get shielded. They can go for the full farm against us, and we're going to be forced to go into our Palkia, which is going to try to use a shield against the opponent's Freeze Shock, which is going to not drop us at all, which is going to be great, and we're going to get some nice energy here. But it's down to our Genesect to get all the shields from the opponent. We have to go for the Techno Blast against the Palkia. We would be able to swipe a hit though, which is going to be kind of nice. We still definitely would be able to swipe one of the charge moves from the opponent. So we should no shield here, which we will do as well, which is going to be great. As this is the only way of us kind of winning this one. We're going to have to go for the wrong move though, because otherwise we will not go to the other one really in time. We will see the shield coming up, which is going to be great and which we kind of needed. And now it's down to our own Palkia trying to go for the full farm on here. We don't even get the free fast move in, which is really annoying to be fair. We have the Spatial Rent coming in, and we're going to try our best to get to another move as soon as possible. I try to go for the Fire Blast against the opponent and Enamoros, but is it going to work out for us? Fire Blast is going to connect now. This is going to do some tremendous amounts of damage. Like, this is going to be non-there, but it does still enough to one-shot them. But sadly, I'm still going to lose against the opponent's Palkia. Dialga against us here in the lead is going to be an interesting one. We're going to swap out straight away into, this time around, our Genesect. And this is the thing as well. I think at this point I started to maybe consider Genesect as our safe swap, which makes a bit more sense in a lot of scenarios. And as you'll see here, we're going to bait out the opponent's Palkia, which is lovely, because we're going to still get the Techno Blast off against them, at least like with this next one for sure still. Like, I don't think that this Awkward here is going to knock us. it is not, and we have another Techno Blast, and now we can swap even back into our Palkia to go for the full farm down here, which is exactly what we're gonna do. Getting up to Needy and Awkward Tail, let's see what they have in the back. They're gonna go back into the Dialga. We're gonna be able to basically pretend that we have the hard-hitting Spatial Rent, which you never have, because, yeah, if they watch my videos, which they don't, they know that I don't have Spatial Rent on my Palkia. So, yeah, let's take a look here. We're gonna be able to go ahead and go into the Necrozma. Necrozma is going to be able to go up against the Dialga, take a hit. I'm actually using a shield against an Iron Head. That is kind of not ideal, but the Stark Pulse is going to be able to get the KO guaranteed, and we will see the swap out into the Kyurem, and we should be able to outspeed them here as well. They don't generate energy as fast, and we're going to be able to win this battle. Let's take a look at the next opponent. This is going to be here Dialga in the lead again. Dialga is quite common in the lead currently. And we swap out into the Genesect, which again is going to work out okay for us. We can go for another Techno Blast. They're gonna go for a charge move. I could take a hit here, but I expected basically the Roar of Time. It's going to be a Thunder actually, which is quite rare. Techno Blast is going to allow us to do some nice neutral damage. Enough to maybe put them even into range for the Magnet Bomb. And I can just go for Magnet Bomb here now, because they know about the Techno Blast. And so it's very unlikely that they're going to use a shield here. This one might not be enough to not KO them, but it's going to get them very low, and so we're going to be in a very nice position here, I guess, because we don't have the... Like, we are not a shield down or anything like this. We got a lot of damage against the opponent's Rhyperior. We're even going to be at the point where we can catch a hit from the Breaking Type here, which is going to be great. And it's going to be the Kyurem on the back, which is not going to be great at all. That is going to be very, very much difficult. I can take a Fusion Bolt because I know that my Palkia is my main Pokemon here for this battle at this point, because there's nothing that I can really do here. If I would have went for a shield, they would have been able to basically get up there as well. We've been using a shield there. So, like, I think it was a better play. I can at least still shield this Fusion Bolt here. We're going to be able to go for the full Fallen with the Palkia. Dialga comes back in, and sadly, as you can see already, there is not really a lot that we can do here. Awkward Tail is coming through. Getting the shield, actually, we can not get to another one. Second to last battle, we're going to have here the Palkia against the Meltmetal, and we have the Fire Blast for this Pokemon, so it would be cool if we could land that. They're gonna go ahead and go for the Superpower anyway, and swap out into their own Palkia. I'm gonna try to pretend that I have the Spatial Rent again. They decide to use a shield, which is fine. We can go into our Genesect, which is going to be able to go for some nice hard-hitting damage at least, which is exactly kind of what we want to do. Awkward Tail is of course coming through here. We can go for the Techno Blast. Techno Blast is going to allow us to get, yeah, like a lot of damage against them, but not enough that we can farm them down yet, and so we let the move go through and just keep the shields for our Necrozma and our Palkia as well, of course. Let's see what they're gonna go back into. They go back into the Meltmetal, and we can use a shield here. If it's going to be again in the Superpower, it's fine. It's double Iron Bash as a bait. That is kind of interesting because you can at least catch the move here. This is going to be the double Iron Bash again, and in the back there, I think I remember this battle again. Like, those battle actually were quite a bit ago, like 3 days ago or something. But as you're gonna see here, the Superpower is coming in. I do think they have a Pokemon in the back that if we had Draco Media, we would have won this one, but I'm not too sure which Pokemon it was in hindsight. It was Kyurem. But I think maybe we're actually fine here still, because we're gonna have the... Okay, we have the Sunstealer Strike, which is gonna be able to knock them out, of course, straight away. And we have here the Dark Pulse, which is going to be fine as well. Awkward Tail is coming through here. This is going to be enough to get the KO, and we can move on to the next opponent. Necrozma here against our Palkia. We're gonna try our best to go up again for Fire Blast, would be kind of cool. I can use a shield here. It's going to be just a Dark Pulse, so like I would expect that they are going to let the move go through here, hopefully. It's a Fire Blast now coming through, coming their way. Please let the move go through. They don't. I don't even know why they used the shield here, but of course it's going to help them out quite a bit. I don't think they expected Fire Blast, but sadly Fire Blast never really worked out for me. Like, Draco Meteor would have been the better play for sure. But as you see here, the opponent can still go for another Dark Pulse, which is going to be a bit annoying, and we're going to try our best to go for the full farm down, which finally does work out as well. They're going to have the Palkia in the back, but I don't really have a great answer, and so I just go straight for my stab move here, which is going to be resisted, and now I can still go for the Dark Pulse, which is going to be at least neutral, but not doing that much damage. So I think everything kind of worked the best way. as we are going to try to catch the awkward tail here, which is going to be the case on our own Palkia. We're going to try our best to use our Genesect now as well, but they swap out into the Kyurem, and honestly, this is kind of playable still. They can only go for the Fusion Bolt, and hopefully Fusion Bolt is not enough to knock us out. Like, we are mythical Pokemon, you just normal legendary. Let's see on how this is gonna go. It is going to be the Fusion Bolt, and it is basically one-shotting us, which is madness, because now we're going to, lose this battle guaranteed. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.